Today, Joe and I are going to show you how to make this wood-fired camp stove, and Joe is going to do some cooking. Stay tuned for that.
Started off by grabbing some 1/4-inch plate we had laying around the shop, put it on top of the welding table. Then I'm going to be showing you guys how we laid out all the crazy angles on this project. We marked 8 inches 4 times. We're going to be making 4 10 by 8-inch rectangles. Connecting all those lines together. Then I went ahead and measured 1.5 inches in on both sides of that rectangle. Then using my speed square, connected that 1.5 inch mark to the corner on the other side. And that gave us a nice little trapezoid-like figure. And those triangles that are X'd out is what we're going to be cutting out. Went ahead and grabbed the metal cutting circular saw. Make some quick work of this plate. You can get this done with an angle grinder and some cutting wheels, but it's going to take you about 10 times as long. I'll leave the link for this tool and all the others used in this video down in the description below, so you guys can follow along with the build. Once I had all 4 of my pieces cut out, went ahead and put them on top of the welding table. Gave them a nice little sanding with a sanding wheel. That way there's no sharp edges. Then it was time to weld these things up. So to fit these plates up, we're pretty much just butting them up next to each other. Giving them a nice little tack weld with our Arccaptain welder. And you should be left with a nice perfect square on the bottom and the top. It's always good to tack weld your project first. That way you make sure everything's nice and square. Then you can go back and burn a full bead all the way around. Guys, we want to give a huge shout out to Arccaptain for sending us over one of their brand new welders. What we got here is the MIG 145 Pro multi-process welder, flux cord, lift TIG, DC stick. So you guys, before I even fired this welder up, 2 of my favorite things about it: nice and portable, lightweight, and it's got a normal household connection, no 220 needed. You can take this welder anywhere you go. This setup comes with a ground clamp, a stinger for stick welding, and a gun for flux core. On this welder, you can change which welding process you're using, the thickness of the material you're welding, and the amperage. And you can even connect to the Arccaptain app and control all these processes from your phone. The app's also got a nice manual for every single welder they have. And a link straight to their website if you guys want to purchase this. And the flux core wire feed on this welder made quick work of this project. Then we went ahead and cut out a 7" by 7" square of 1/4" plate. And we're going to put that right in the bottom of this to act as our floor for the fire to sit on. And after we got that welded in, we went ahead and laid out a door that we're going to be cutting out with the angle grinder. Just a little 4" door. Be able to feed your fire. Once we had that door cut out, went ahead and sanded off our welds on the side, sanded off all the sharp edges from cutting. Kind of give this project a nice finished look. Then we went ahead and started cutting out the steel for the grate that's going to hold our pans. Using some 2" flat bar, cut out some 10" pieces. We were able to weld up a 10" by 10" square. Made sure to sand that to a nice finish too. Gave it a nice little X pattern to make it look like a stovetop. Welded all those pieces together. Then went ahead and tried out the stick welding feature of this Arccaptain welder. Worked like a charm. Put that grate on top of our base. Welded that together. And this project was all done. Time to fire it up.
Well, with this stove, maybe now Joe will do some cooking.
And I did today. That chili, past hour, been cooking it up. Let's take a look.
All right. Oh, that's looking good. It's smelling real good.
All right, you guys. Just smelling this. It's time for us to eat. So
what?
thanks for tuning in to Father Son DIY Garage.
All right.
We'll see you guys
Thanks
next
for tuning
time.
in. Cheers.